Thanks for clicking on Lo-Fi Music Theory. It ain't fancy, just effective. This is Lesson 9, How to Build Triads. Up to now, we've been covering all of the basic concepts and definitions that should help you understand how music works. So with that down, now we can get into the really juicy content. Triads are a fundamental thing, but they're actually enormous. They're not that hard to understand, and yet if you can figure out how to play and comprehend a triad, your ability to play and understand music will just explode. And especially if you want to write your own music, you definitely want to know this. Here we go. We can build a triad in 3 steps. In the first 2 steps, we're just going to think in terms of letter names. We start with a single note. We call it a root note because things grow out of roots. I'm going to give the example from A. I've written A here in the bass clef, bottom space. We take a root note. We stack on top of it in thirds, okay? So, a third above an A is C. I'm going to write a C. Third above, there it is. Happens to be the next space, conveniently. And a third above a C is an E. Next space, conveniently. Let's label. There you go. We've created a triad. It's 3 notes stacked in thirds, and from the bottom to the top note is a fifth. So we have a root, this is a third, and then a fifth between the bottom and the top. So we've created an A chord. It's some combination of those 3 letters. Let's demonstrate at the keyboard. I'm going to do it 1 octave higher. Here's A third above A is C, third above C is E. That's an A chord, and that's a fifth between the A and the E. Now, here's a little hack that'll help you. The interval, now I talked about how we have from the root to the fifth, the bottom to the top note. Now, if your root note is a white key, your fifth will be a white key. And if your root note is a black key, your fifth will be a black key. So if I were to flat this A, the E would also become flatted. A flat will then have to match up with E flat, all right? That will work 10 times out of 12 because there's 2 exceptions, all right? There's 12 notes in the chromatic scale. The 2 exceptions to that are on B and B flat. Here's A again, all right? If we go up to B here, a fifth above B is F sharp. And if we flat that B, a fifth above B flat is F. I don't have any trick to help you remember that. That's just how the notes lay out and how it works. But in every other instance, if your root note is a white key, your fifth is a white key. If your root note is a black key, your fifth is a black key. So if you're looking at a keyboard, that'll help you out. Now, let's keep going. Step 3, the quality of the chord is determined by the middle note. We talked earlier in a previous lesson about major and minor. It's the third that determines what kind of chord you have, a major or a minor chord, okay? You simply need to know whether you have a major or a minor third. The fifth does not affect that. So, we have A, C, and E here, right? Let's come down here. A to C is a minor third. 3 half steps, okay? So right now this is an A minor chord. If you want to make it an A major chord, we raise this. Now it's a major chord because we have a major third, A to C sharp. And that's how it works, all right? That's how you build a triad, all right? Let's do another one. Let's do another example. Let's come up here to the treble clef now, and let's do something on a line. I'm going to come over here. Let's do E right here. All right, we've got E. We stack on top of that in thirds. A third above E is G. A third above G is B. Conveniently, line, line, line. If you're looking at your staff, triads stack up in thirds, and it's space, 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 or line, line, line. So if you see that, you know you've got a triad. Now, remember, the quality of the chord is determined by the third. Let's come down here to the keyboard. I've got an E. A third above that is G. A third above that is B. We got some kind of an E chord right now. Okay, now, is it major or minor? Well, right now it's minor. We need to make it major. Now it's major. So E minor, E major. Okay, now most music consists entirely of minor and major chords. So if you can just master that, you'll be pretty much good to go. Pretty much everything you hear on the radio consists entirely of minor and major chords. So just master that. Just to be thorough, let's just sharp that G to show where we left off. All right, so we made minor into major. Now let's mess with this E chord a little bit more. All right, let's say, erase that sharp. What if we made it flat? All right, let's get some black keys in here. Let's make this E flat. Well, remember, if your root note is a black key, E becomes E flat, then your fifth will become a black key as well. So E became E flat, B must become B flat. So let's come up here, let's write that. E flat and B flat. Now, is it major or minor? All right, well, we've got E flat, we've got B flat. Remember, the quality is determined by the third in the middle, by the middle note. And then is it a major third or a minor third? So if you want it to be a major chord, well, let's see. Got to manipulate my fingers here. So E, G, B, E flat, G, B flat. That's an E flat major chord to make it minor. Now that's E flat minor, okay? So, same concepts, just moved around from white keys to the black keys. And let's do one more rapid fire recap. Let's do one on one of the B's, okay? I'm going to come back down to the bass clef, right? We're bass clef here. And I'm going to draw a bass clef just so we can see it. All right, there's a bass clef symbol. Let's do it on a B, all right? Let's do B right here. Now we know we stack above B. There's our B. We have a D, and we have an F, because we stack up in thirds. Now, remember, B was the exception with the fifth. All right, let's make this. Let's keep this B natural. All right. So I told you that a fifth above a B is an F sharp. So let's sharp this F. There's no trick to remember. You just got to remember. So let's come down here and play it. Here's a B. We've got D, and a fifth above is F sharp. There's our root, third, and fifth. Now, right now, is it major or is it minor? Well, let's see. That's a minor third. Right now, it's B minor if you want to make it major. Now it's B major. All right, come up here and I'll write it. B major. We have a D sharp in addition to the F sharp. So we could do this all day, but I think by now you get a sense of how it works. That's building triads. Thanks for watching.